an eargasm of learning and a no-fuss show. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast, where you can learn straightforward topics about branding, digital entrepreneurship, online business, and many more with your charming host, John Santos, along with inspiring entrepreneurs, creators, and thought leaders worldwide.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast with me, John Santos. And today we have a very special guest. Very beautiful, very amazing. People Operations Director, founder of Modern Mind Group. She is not a new guest, but she is a returning guest. She's been featured on our creative magazine, Creative Arm, and she's been with me in our community on Clubhouse, on Facebook, and still with us here on LinkedIn. Let's all welcome good friend Melissa Curran. Welcome back.
Good morning, Jan, and everyone out there, or afternoon, depends on where you are in the world. Lovely to be back, and thank you so much for that great introduction.
How do you transform your business with Emotioneering? What is Emotioneering, and how can it level up brands and businesses out there? The floor is yours, my friend.
Thanks, Jan. As human beings, we're not engineering the performance that we're looking for, whether that be in the workplace, whether it's leveling up in our personal or professional lives. It's understanding that we are driven by emotion. We have motivational drivers that will help us to face change, to learn new things, to move out of our comfort zone into just a different area for us to be able to move forward. And like I said, our emotions are what drive us. So it's understanding that we are emotioneering human performance, whether that be in life or in the workplace, and helping people to move forward into something that they may be slightly uncomfortable with, to get to that comfortable, competent state, and so that they can achieve amazing things for their business, amazing things for their life. And if you look at, so as an example, if you look at the logo of the Modern Mind Group, it's got two main sort of triangles within that. And one of them is the mindset, the modern mindset triangle. And then the other one is the emotioneering triangle. So what I mean, without, obviously this is audio, so without
right.
a clear visual on this, I'm going to sort of talk. Yeah, I'm going to talk through a little bit about it. For me, there's three main points to emotioneering, and there's fear. One is fear, the second one is courage, and the third one is confidence. So if we take that sort of triangle and we put fear at the top, right? Fear is ultimately what drives all of us to push back and defend on certain things that may come up that we're uncomfortable with, or we fear not getting something right. Let's take the workplace as an example. We fear, oh, what if I don't get this presentation right? What if the work that I'm delivering isn't good enough? Or all of these sorts of irrational thoughts or fears can come in. And it's about understanding that we're there to move towards the second point, which I talked about, was courage, and to really encourage and support and increase belief in them towards courage, so that they can take courageous decisions. And that once they've started to do that, which is still a sort of out of that comfort zone, they can then receive positive reinforcement. They're reconfirming that the decisions or the actions that they took are great, which then moves them into this confidence. So confidence becomes this outcome. And so those are the 3 points. So, fear is a reaction. And I've talked about this on your podcast before. Fear is a reaction. Courage is a decision. And confidence is an outcome. It is the outcome that we're looking for. The challenge with that is that someone will say, well, I thought I was confident. So it goes a little bit deeper. And I suppose I'm taking this to a little bit of a different level now with you on the sort of second time that we're talking about this. And sort of delving in that little bit more. And it's about understanding that we also have confidence in two areas. It's either proven confidence, or it's perception of confidence. It's that, oh yeah, I think I'm great at that, but there's been no proven evidence that supports that you're able to do that certain thing. So I'll give you an example of that. And for those that are listening today, is that I absolutely love paddleboarding.
Yeah.
I love it. But when I started, I'd never done it before. In my head, I'm looking at these people graciously. Oh, are you still there? You haven't lost me, right? You can still hear me?
All good, all good.
Okay, that's fine. Sorry. I'm looking at these people and I want to do paddleboarding. I think, oh, that would be great. And I'm watching people graciously move across the sea, across this body of water so gracefully. And I'm thinking, yeah, sure, my balance is great. I can do that. I'm sure I'll be standing up straight away. So I've booked these sessions. Yeah, right. I've booked these sessions. I've jumped into having a paddleboarding lesson, and I've very quickly realized that I'm not as good as I thought I was going to be. And you know what's coming at this particular thing. I'm not as good as I thought I was going to be. And then what happens is that I'm falling off, right? I'm in the
Yeah.
water straight away. So that perceived confidence that I had, I thought, oh yeah, this is going to be absolutely fine. Suddenly I'm in the water, and I have to then, I'm out of my comfort zone now. I've realized, whoa, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. This is much harder than I thought it was be. And now I'm making, and I often don't talk about this. I talk about confidence as the outcome and what happens next. But when you're at that confident part where it is perceived confidence, you you start to move out your comfort zone again, and then you're moving towards that fear area within the triangle. So you're
Mm.
moving now. You've got this perception of, oh gosh, I'm not so good at this, what's happening now? I'm starting to worry, am I going to be good at it again? Actually, I need a bit of support, I need some more support with this. And I start to move into that unsure area.
Yeah, yeah. There's a big listening to your story and your example. There's a big possibility on that stage when you have this realization that it's not what you think it is. There's a big possibility that people can quit, right? Because they have this
Yeah.
awakening that, whoa, this is not what I was thinking or imagining.
Yeah, without a doubt. And then when you look at that and that fear, and the part I was totally going to get to is that when that fear kicks in, it's your motivational drivers and your goals and the things that you want to work towards that really help you to realize, well, what is it that I'm aiming for here? Is it that I'm aiming to get better? Do I need some more support? Do I need more encouragement? Do I, whatever it is that you're feeling? And the four main motivational drivers are incentive. What am I incentivized to keep doing this by? What is incentivizing me or moving me forward? Is it a monetary thing? Is it that if I do this, I can change my life and I can get more salary, or I can,
Mm,
learn something new? There's recognition. Is doing this going to achieve me better recognition? Will I get a promotion? Will I win an award? Will I be able to be recognized amongst my peers or amongst the people that I work with? And then we've got the other two, which are accountability. Essentially, if I don't get this right, what are going to be the consequences, which is still in where the fear is, right? But if the consequence of not doing it is strong enough that we start to then take that step towards doing something else, and or to redoing it and to get it right. And then the last one around purpose, what are we really, what is the bigger purpose? Why is this thing so important for me
yeah.
to be able to move towards? Whether that's, I mean, I used paddleboarding as an example. It could be that I don't know, you're a new manager, a new leader that needs help and support because you thought it was going to be easy managing people and leading others,
Yeah,
and now
yeah.
you've realized, oh wow, I'm a little bit out of my depth here. So all of these things have to really be considered when we're in the workplace, and why it's so important is because using that knowledge and being able to apply that to support and encourage and increase belief in people is where things start to grow and change. And if companies want, increased profits, highly engaged people, and record breaking results, emotioneering really is the sort of the driving force to be able to get that. And if you understand it, you can understand what's happening with people, and the way that we can move businesses forward and help those people take steps forward. Then you're going to be in a much stronger position, and you will transform your business because you will get record breaking results.
Love that. Love that. We have a message on Instagram from our follower Mofi or Mofi. Sorry if I butchered your name. Um,
Okay.
any tips for his business is a small coffee shop? How can we incorporate emotioneering in a small business? The floor is yours, my friend.
Um, yeah, that's a brilliant question. So, okay, so in a small coffee shop, is it imagine you've got three or four members of your team, and
Actually, I asked that and he said, including him, there's six.
Okay, great. Okay, so there's six people. Also, six is like my magic number, so I love that. So thanks so much for your question. The point being is that if you've got six members of your team, first of all, what I was talking about there with the motivational drivers is that I would ask you as a leader and as a business owner, do you know what their main motivational driver is? What do
Mm.
they want? If you have John, you've got Sally, you've got Denise, whoever's working with you in that coffee shop, first of all, you need to be able to know, not think, know what their motivational driver is. First of all, what is it that they're aiming towards in their future? Do they want to run the coffee shop for you? Do
Mm.
they want to get married? Do they want to be the best barista that there ever was and be able to, I don't know, be notable on Instagram or something
Yeah.
for their incredible coffee toppings, whatever that is? We've got to first of all know that. Now, the reason for that, within whatever business you're running, whether it is a coffee shop or not, the reason for that is that fear towards that I don't and staying in their comfort zone is going to be a stronger pull than their motivational driver themselves. So as a leader, you're there to encourage them and support them and to remind them of what they're moving towards. So if they aren't so great at maybe being the best barista in the world yet, yeah, and I mean yet, if they're not great at doing that yet, what can we do to help them and encourage them and support them and remind them of the journey that they're on? And they may only just started. How long is it going to take them? Help them to understand the things that you maybe did that weren't so great in the start to get better at that particular thing. So that is how emotioneering can work, even just in a small team like you've got there, and being able to help them to move towards their goals, learn new things, and perform better. There's another part to this as well, though. So it's twofold. I was talking about it from what is the employee's motivational driver.
Mm.
What I would say is, first of all, understand what is your motivational driver. What are you doing this for? And by helping and supporting them, what happens for you? Where does that go? And being able to remind yourself of that and write that goal down and remind yourself of what you're aiming to achieve will help you to emotioneer your own conversations in the workplace, the feedback that you need to give to that person. So let's take those three things: fear, courage, and confidence. So if I think about, as a leader, being able to talk to someone and give them very clear feedback. Look, 100% of your employees and your team members want feedback.
Mm.
Only 10% of leaders out there are comfortable to do that. So you've got to understand that it's going to be uncomfortable to start to give that person feedback. And there is going to be this fear or this, oh gosh, I've got to have this conversation. Know that having that conversation first and taking that courageous step to do it. So you're fearing having the conversation and things you need to talk about. You take that courageous moment to have that one-to-one conversation with someone, and then you're going to feel a lot more confident once you've had that conversation with them. There's a lot more into coaching and how to deliver feedback, which we could talk about, Jan. At the same time, this sort of understanding of what is happening, and you're not going to be confident as a leader giving feedback straight away. It's
Right.
understanding that it's perceived confidence to be able to then move around this sort of triangle a lot faster, and to be able to grow your team, knowing that they're going to need the feedback from you and the support from you to get to where they need to be.
I love that. I love that. Before we move to the next question, which is also connected to what Mofi or Mofi asked, I have a follow up question. You mentioned about the word feedback, giving feedback. Planning to talk to your team about the strengths and weaknesses. Feedback and any what tips about giving feedback, because like what you've said, there are leaders, or teams that are not comfortable in giving feedback. And also I have like other friends that are sharing stories that when they start moving in that area, and having that feedback, talking to their team, sometimes it ends up in a negative way. So
Mhm.
how would you move in giving feedback?
Yeah.
Any tips? The floor is yours, my friend.
Well, yeah, I've got a lot of help and support that I can offer in that area. What I call it is the ultimate feedback model, and it's basically OSBOM, OSBOM. And if you think about sort of a mnemonic for it, Olympic swimmers beat other mediocres. So
Nice.
OSBOM. And what it stands for is opening statement, strengths, bridge, opportunities, and motivational message. So the
Ooh.
opening statement, hey, Jan, so I'll give you an example of this. Hey, Jan, I'd love to give you some feedback on the last customer that you just worked with there in the coffee shop. Let's go have a chat about it. So I'm confident. Hopefully my body language is open. I'm being able to sort of have a casual approach and present to you that I would like to GAN minute just to give you some feedback. Is that okay? Sorry, I know you're busy. It's not this sort of passive sort of leadership
Mm.
approach. It's saying, hey Jan, I saw you with that customer there. Let's go have a chat about how you came across and what you did. I'd love to give you some feedback. Right. So it's really nice, kind of
Nice.
positive, open statement, smiling, really approachable. Okay. It's not waving my finger at someone saying to them,
Yeah.
oh, Jan, let me
Yeah.
give you some feedback on that last customer. You're like, whoa,
You know what's coming.
what am yeah, what am I walking into here? Um, so then, the other side to this is about understanding then the next part. So that was the opening statement. The next part is the strengths. Pick two things that they do extremely well. Now they could do this all the time. The point is it has to be genuine. What are the positive impact that they're having on two things that they do really well? So if I was going to give you feedback in a coffee shop on the way you just interacted with that customer, I may talk about your positivity and the way that you smile with them, and that's impactful because people feel like you care and that you want to be there. So keep doing that, Jan. Keep that energy high. Our customers absolutely love it. Right. So as an example, so you pick two of them, and the reason for that is that we're very critical just as human beings. We're the first thing, because our brains will have this negativity bias. We will notice what people need to improve first
Yeah.
before we do it all the time. What people need to improve first before we focus on the positives. It's basically in this model getting you to focus first of all on what the positives are before you're about to give that opportunity or that sort of area of improvement for that person. So pick two and tell them why it's impactful, not just gloss over. Yeah, it's really good that you have this energy. It's really good that you have this energy with the customers because it keeps them coming back. They love coming to be served by you. Keep doing that, right? So it's really sort of that
Mm.
positive reinforcement. Then we come onto the bridge. So the bridge of how you give the feedback is that it's about the transition. It's about the transition from the strengths into the negatives, or they're not, I don't call them negatives, I call them opportunities. So it's these opportunities that you want somebody to understand. At the same time, what you don't want to do is the negate the positives. So
Right.
as an example, what I mean by that is that you wouldn't want to lose what you just said by saying the thing is, but
Ah, yeah.
and so if I say to you, Jan, you were really great with those customers and they keep coming back because they love your energy, but you're like, oh. And there's a brilliant phrase. I don't know whether in the UK we use it a lot. That everything before the but is, and bleep bleep bleep. People are waiting.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not listening to that positive and really taking that on. They're waiting for that
They're actually
that negative.
waiting to know where they got it all wrong. And, the big
Exactly.
correction.
They're like, oh. Great. Yeah, that does the stuff you just said doesn't matter now because of this area. And we've always got areas of opportunity. It's about pinpointing the one that's going to matter the most. So in this area, what you want to understand is that if you use the words but, maybe, although, anything that's around a but or a maybe or an although, we want to aim to remove it. So as an example, I would say to you, like I just said, so Jan, you were great with those customers and they love your energy and your enthusiasm. And that's great because they keep coming back. The biggest opportunity for you to move is,
That, well, I'm actually going to use that.
yeah, do it, Jan. It'll work with your own team. It'll help with even, your family. It's great because it's really about, it becomes about that person. And it is always about that person. If we think about their motivational drivers, this isn't for me. And it isn't about yes, we want to move the business forward. And the reason that you started the business, if you're in a coffee shop, I would hope is to make amazing, great coffee and to be able to make people happy and create this amazing environment where they can come and connect. Right?
Wow.
That's essentially what you're doing. So we're thinking about what's going to be the most impactful thing for the customers and the clients and the people that we work with, or what's going to be the most impactful thing for that person that we're talking to about why it's important. It's important for the purpose of why we're doing what we do, and it's also important for their motivational purpose. And if I don't, some people may say, and I'll talk about what the other two areas are of this mnemonic in a moment. But some people will say, "Oh, well, I don't want to go and feedback. Hopefully they'll just figure it out for themselves." And this is what I would say to anybody. If I do not give as a leader, if I do not give you feedback and I'm not prepared to be able to help you move forward and grow for the greater good, for the purpose, and for you, I might as well be either taking money from you or taking things away from your future self.
Ooh.
So if I'm not helping you to move forward, I'm taking something from you.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. So for me, I'm going to help you. You may not like the feedback I give you.
Right,
You
right.
may find it uncomfortable at first, but I'll aim to do it as best I can. At the same time, if I don't tell you what I truly believe and what is really going to help you and help our business to move forward, then shame on me, because I'm not helping you get better. I might as well be hindering you in that process, which is a powerful thought, right?
Right, right. Wow. I really learn a lot, on how to connect and give feedback. And there is, listening to your example, there's no there is no vibe of negativity. What I feel is you are
No.
concerned, and you are with me in my journey to upgrade, to level up, and that's something that really
Yeah.
takes out that, that heaviness, and that negativity, that you're right, it takes away the fear, and I love that. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that, my friend.
That's okay. I've still got the two.
Sure,
Still
sure,
got the other
sure.
two areas
Let's go.
of the hotspot. Just because we still have to get to the area of opportunity and improvement. So I've said the bridge. I've said, look, you were great at this. You were great at this. Forward thing. As a new employee, you could probably have 50 different things. So the O stands for opportunities. You could have 50 opportunities to improve because you're brand new to this. As a leader, I have to assess what is the most impactful thing that they can change right now that is going to help them move forward faster and also make more of an impact to the clients and the business today. If I give them all of it, they could crumble. They could feel like, oh, I don't want to do this. And I don't want to take away that enthusiasm either. So I have to pick the one that is most impactful. And then I say to them, the biggest opportunity for you is the bridge, and it is this. So I may say, it is when you end the conversation with the customers. When you end the conversation with the customers, there isn't that sort of leaving lasting impression with them. And the
Mm.
reason why that's important for you is that they then will come back because you've reminded them to come back again. As an example, Jan, I noticed that we haven't given out the loyalty cards and the stamps or reminded
Right.
them to get that, which is really important for us because we do want to give back to the people that are most loyal to us within the business. So what I want you to do next time that a customer comes through that door, let's make sure you've already got it framed in your mind that you're going to say to them, have you got your loyalty card today? Can I stamp it for you? And if they're
Yeah.
not, you tell them about the journey, and we make sure that we say to them, can't wait for you to come back, fill up your loyalty card, and give you that free cup of coffee on us. The last part is the motivational message. So what is this now? What will happen? This is really, really important. What will happen when you get to the end of giving somebody feedback is you may end up feeling uncomfortable about it
Mm-hmm.
and slip into what we call the positive sandwich, where we've said something positive, something to improve on, and then we go back to a positive. So as an example of that, I may say, let's make sure you give out the loyalty cards to them next time, and then say, good job though, great work though.
Oh, okay.
Now, now the challenge with this is that if you're saying, well, great job though, you're saying that for you to feel more comfortable, not for them to remember what they need to do and change. So we
Ah,
often, yeah, and we
I'm
often
guilty.
remember the
Guilty
last
as charged.
and I did it. In my early leadership years, I did it, and it's still, there's still moments where that may happen in an uncomfortable situation because it's putting me back into. But I was nice though at the end, right?
Right.
It's putting me back into that instead of me thinking about how I'm still helping that person move forward. So the motivational message, if I know them, and that's where what I said to Mofi earlier about understanding their motivational driver is where I can really bring their motivational driver into the conversation. So I can say to somebody, so as an example, Jan, imagine I know that you want to I don't know, let's buy a brand new Ferrari.
Wow.
Okay, I don't know, maybe this is the most lucrative coffee shop in the planet, but maybe you want to buy a Ferrari, right? And I say to you at the end of it, now, so I've said what you need to improve, and I've said the opportunity, and then what I'm saying to you is, so Jan, I know that when you do this, you are going to be one step closer to getting that Ferrari for you. And the reason is because more customers are going to come through this door, are going to be able to pay you more money. You're going to get promoted because we've got a bigger customer base, and therefore you're going to be way closer to getting your Ferrari. So
Wow.
can you commit making sure that you offer those loyalty cards to every customer that comes in today and forever?
Wow. That's a mic drop.
Thanks,
Wow.
Jan.
Wow. No, I really learned a lot. I mean, I'm listing it down, and I've said it earlier. I'm guilty as charged. But this is an awakening for all the listeners on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Guys, that simple line, that simple approach can really change your team, change your brand, and change your business for the better. So I encourage you to, if you haven't downloaded this episode or you're streaming it, please check this out because the words of wisdom and the tips of Melissa and level it up. My friend, we have a very special guest. I am seeing Martin Stark here, two-time LinkedIn top
Hey.
voice. I would like, wait. Let me see. My LinkedIn just froze. Wait. One
Yeah,
moment.
I can still hear you, Jan. It seems to
Oh, there,
be.
yo, yay. Melissa Curran, I want you to meet Martin Stark, the Courage Champion, keynote speaker, and two-time LinkedIn top voice. Martin, this is Melissa Curran, our special guest for today.
Hey, Melissa, lovely to meet you. How you going?
I'm good, thanks. The Courage Champion. That's just a hell of a title. It's brilliant. Lovely to meet you today as well.
Oh, but yeah, I've had this title for about 6, 7 years. Courage is my favorite word, and I literally have it tattooed on my back.
Wow,
Wow.
love that. Yes,
Nice,
amazing.
nice.
And
So,
I love this topic, emotioneering.
yeah,
What a
yeah, yeah.
brilliant word.
Yeah, Melissa, before we circle back to emotioneering, because I know Martin here is very excited to know more about that. There's another question from Blankson. Um, First from Mofi, it's a small business. Now I'm assuming this is, a mid-size because he is handling 20, a team of 20, but in a virtual setting. So I'm assuming it's like a virtual setup, like overseas online work. So how can we incorporate emotioneering in this settings? The floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, okay, interesting. So this person's asking about emotioneering in a virtual setting, got a team of 20 people that they're working with. This is really, first of all, when it comes to remote work, you have to be even better at connecting with your people, having ways to check in with them, having conversations that are non-objective. And what I mean by that, first of all, is that, again, we're all driven by emotion, right? It's about the people, it's about what's going on. And if they feel like they're isolated or working in silos and they're not connected to you, or they don't feel like people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, then they're not going to do their best work or feel like they're motivated to drive forward. So you have to find, first of all, a way to connect with them that is non-objective. It's not about the business. So as an example, imagine that your boss or your line manager calls you. What is the first thing you're thinking when you see that phone call come in? Are you thinking, yay, I can't wait to speak to them? Or are you thinking, oh gosh, what do they want now?
Oh, why is he
Now, and
calling?
I've been through
I'm
this
in
before
deep
myself,
trouble. What did I
where the
do?
conversations become so objective about the business and about what is going on that they aren't about that individual and just understanding what's on their mind. So one of the things that I talk to some of the clients and the businesses that I work with, especially in a virtual setting, is to have what's called what's on your mind sessions, and to just check in, just have that. It's not about work. And I'll give you another example of this. Say you have a 30-minute conversation and you book it with your team. So imagine you do that now with your 20 people you work with, or even sort of what's on your mind today. And all of a sudden they start to talk to you, oh, well, this is happening about work and this is what's going on and this is happening with this client, or this is what's happening with, okay. You've set up this sort of precedent that every conversation or the things where you have the interactions at times, not always, have to be about work.
Right.
So to talk to them about them, what is going on in their world, what are they concerned about, what are the highlights, what are the things that they've achieved recently, what are the things that they want to overcome, and the challenges or the bottlenecks that they're coming up against. Now that could be in their life, and their life is going to affect and impact how they work day to day and how they interact with your customers and clients. If you're a people-centric business, obviously it could be that you have a factory or you have a manufacturing plant. It could be all sorts of things. But in a virtual world, I'm imagining that there are clients and customers who are at the end of this. So you really have to understand, talk about having this sort of approach where, oh, we give them autonomy. We give them autonomy. Absolutely give people autonomy to make decisions about how they do their work. At the same time, if you don't check in to see how they are and what is going on with them, what they're not feeling confident about, what they need more encouragement to get that courage, that Martin that's joined us, talks about as well. If we're not helping and encouraging them and increasing belief and getting that support and understanding what is going on in their world, we're not going to be able to help them perform and get to their best. So that is the first thing that I would suggest you do, because emotioneering is around us every single day. When you're trying to implement a change, when you're trying to do something new, you're going to come up against people that will fear the change, not understand that change, worry about what may happen for them or for other people. So get to have really deep conversations with people, and you will understand how to use it a lot better. I hope that
Wow.
helps.
Yeah.
If you want to give me some more specifics, then anything else that's happening with that team, then I can really delve in a little bit deeper.
Nice. I'm sure Blankson can really really connect with you. Let's see what will
Jan, can you
happen.
still hear me? Are you there?
Hello, hello,
There's a bit.
hello, hello.
Oh, I'm back. Did you lose me?
No, no, no,
Can
no.
you
I,
hear
I,
me?
I got it. I got it. I'm sure Blankson will really transform his team for the better if he will operate in emotioneering. Because I know and I learn a lot. Martin, do you have any questions regarding emotioneering and handling a team,
Well,
based on what you've
I was
heard?
I was having lunch with a couple of business owners this afternoon who are experts in customer centricity, and we were talking about how you walk into a company and you can see how the staff are. The cafe are at the staff love working there. You can tell they're smiling, they're happy. But you can go into some companies and you see the staff are scared. You see the fear in the organization. Using the example of a customer satisfaction survey, we get these surveys all the time. But if you give somebody an 8 out of 10 rather than a 10 out of 10, are they going to be disciplined?
Mm,
And I think staff actually fear reactions from their bosses and managers, whereas when they're supported and they don't fear, that's when we get better customer service. And you see that when you walk into cafes and restaurants and hotels, which has the best service is reflective of the best culture. When it's sporadic service, you might think, are they scared of the bosses?
yeah, yeah, that's so true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fear. It is so true. I talk about this a lot when it comes to well-being a little bit more, Mark, and you're so right. Because if we talk about putting as an example, mental health first aiders into the workplace, right? Someone learns a course, someone goes on it, great. They're great to be able to support someone in crisis, as an example. However, if we haven't built up that authentic connection and that trust in relationship, how likely is somebody to go to someone else with their concerns or their challenges about what is going on? So you're bang on. Even when it comes to what is happening in the team, if the leader doesn't have a relationship or an authentic relationship where they share about themselves, where the person is able to share about what is going on with them, and there is this relationship where I know you love and care for me as an individual, even if I don't get things right. That's when you're going to see the best performance and best changes within the workplace, and that because that has to happen. And I see it a lot where there is this disconnect with leaders where they feel that they have to have a line between, well, now that I'm a manager or a leader, I have to, there has to be a distance between me and the people that I'm working with. That's so untrue. One of my clients is inviting all of his team around for a summer barbecue with his family in his home, because he wants to connect on that personal level, and he understands that having those relationships and those foundations with people is what is going to build his business for the future, forever. So yeah, it is a big challenge. The challenge I see is also when leaders are put into place because they've been doing something for a very long time, or are they actually the best people to be doing it? And even if they're not, are they open to being coached or to having feedback on their interactions? And that can be an emotioneering challenge. They can fear someone coming in to look at how they interact with their team and what their team really feel. And then they can fear what they don't know. They can fear that they what are you going to tell me that I need to change to be able to be better at leading the people that I'm working with? So if someone's open to being coached and they're open to having somebody from the outside, an expert, come in and actually look at what they're doing and how they interact with their team members, oh my gosh, the returns on that in terms of their life, how they'll feel about their work, how they'll feel in the future when they get it right, and being able to coach them in the right way so that people can make courageous change and take amazing action towards their futures, is definitely the best place to go. But it's about really being open to those conversations and that support from other people to help them get there.
Wow. Thank you, Melissa, and thank you, Martin, for joining in. I know, Melissa, you have a lot of promotions, your social media accounts, releases, events, and projects. This is the part that you can promote so that people, the floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thank you so much for listening to this, and anyone that is, anyone that's a friend of Jan's and listens to his podcast and is on his platforms, then you're very much a friend of mine as well. So please, reach out. You can find me at Melissa Curran _ on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. You can find me then, and definitely connect to have conversations. One of the things that I do as a business is that I help small to medium enterprises really look at how they can embrace emotioneering within their business. But I have a framework that has 13 key areas of focus where I can really diagnose what is happening within the business, and actually look at your people strategy and sit down with you and talk about things that you can change and things that you can move forward. So that is completely free, that consultation. Why? Because essentially my mission is to help to emotioneer at least, to help at least 1 million people for the better. So you can have that, you can have a discussion with me, find out straight away what things you're doing great and what things that you can improve on with your team. And then you can implement it. I will give you that information. You can go off and you can implement it, or you can have my support to do that. And I work with businesses from half a day a month, right up to sort of 8 days a month, depending on the level of the business and depending on the level of ambition to make change. But it really is about working with business leaders that are ambitious, that want to do the best for their people and are willing to put people over process. Those are the ones that I'm looking to work with. Thank you, Jam.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. And for everyone that is listening, please do connect with Melissa. I'm sure she can help you in your journey towards success. A big thank you for our sponsors, Urla. They are not just about spices, but they're focused on giving unforgettable experience directly to your doorstep. So please do connect with Urla, and you will be amazed with their surprises, especially for you. Thank you again, Melissa Curran. Thank you, Martin. We love you so much. And always remember, have a positive outlook in life, smile, and God bless. Bye.
Thank you for being with us here on the Creative Talk Podcast. I'm your host, John Santos. Don't forget to listen and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. See you again, always.